Welcome back for another day on Lorcana. Today we're going to be trying something a little different. I think we're going to call it Meta Mondays. I've been seeing this deck floating around, and I've tracked down the creator. So I did not make this deck. So I do want to do this thing where I get to play your guys' decks at some point. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But let's start with somebody that maybe a lot of you know already. It's a YouTuber named Steadfast. I've been playing against this deck a lot lately, so it's got a lot of hype. Make sure I'm still focused because I had an issue with that in yesterday's video. But here we are. I'm playing Steadfast's green-red evasive deck. I have not made any changes. I want to play it in its original format. But having said that, after a game or two, I may make my own changes to it, depending on what we got. So let's take a look at the deck. We're going to be kind of glancing at it together. For a lot of you, it's going to be, you've seen it before. For me, it's going to be largely for the first time, with the exception of actually throwing it together. Some of the cards I have questions about, not sure. But starting up, we got Sergeant Tibbs. Sergeant Tibbs costs 1. It's a 4 of in the deck. It's a 2/2 for 1 lore with no abilities. This is immediately for one for me where I'm like, I'm not sure about this one. Maybe it's just early board presence. Maybe it's just that it can be put into the ink. Not entirely sure. It's got decent power. It's cheap. I can see why it would make the cut. I'm just wondering if there's not something better, perhaps. Next up, we got Cruella de Vil. I have 1 copy of this card, 1 physical copy from the starter deck. It is a cool card, so to see 4 of this in the deck should be pretty fun. 2 for a 1/3. When this character is challenged and banished, you may return chosen character to their player's hand. The thing to note with this one is you may return chosen character, not chosen character an opponent controls. So, you really need to. Say you got a really nice card, or you got a cool enter the battlefield ability. Not sure if we have one in this deck per se just yet. You can choose to bounce your own guy, remove the damage, replay him, or get the enter the battlefield trigger again. Yeah, so this card is gonna be cool. I'm excited for this one. We've seen Flynn Rider, so we're pretty familiar with Flynn at this point. But for those of you, costs 2, it's a 1/2, has 2 lore, so it's really aggressive at gaining lore quickly. And whenever he's challenged, your opponent has to discard a card, which is a really fantastic ability. Next up, we got LeFou. When LeFou enters play, ready chosen character, the character can't quest for the rest of the turn. So this is a great way to, tap something down and have it not be able to be attacked. So there's a few things. There's a lot of evasive. So this is another card where I'm a little like, do we need it? But we're gonna find out. Cheshire Cat's been a staple. 3 for a 2/2 quester. When this character is challenged and banished, banish the challenging character. This one's been great for us. Really aggressive. Jasper, 3 for a 2/4, so it's got decent power toughness. When this character quests, chosen opposing character can't quest. I do like that ability. If our opponent is aggressive, this helps them to not be so aggressive, especially against cards like Cheshire Cat, because we don't like to attack into this card if we can help it, and this will prevent it from being so aggressive. Peter Pan, our first evasive character in the evasive deck. 3 for a 3/2, 1 lore, evasive. You might be hearing my cat playing with his toys. Might have to kick him out here in a little bit. But Peter Pan, yeah, first evasive. Evasive, in case you're not familiar, only characters with evasive can challenge other characters with evasive, which makes them a little harder to interact with, so they get to effectively quest a lot of the times unopposed. It's not 100%, especially if this deck is popular like it is right now. We're gonna probably see a lot more. That's part of why I want to play this deck. It's gonna be good because we're gonna be able to actually engage with our opponents. Next up, Hans. Hans for me has largely been an inked character, but 4 for 3 lore. It's really good. The problem is we have Mad Hatter and Cusco, who are also in the 3 lore category, and a lot of times we want to make sure we hit that 5 level so we can play them, especially the Cusco. And Hans is just a stepping stone to get there. So incidentally, there's Cusco and there's Mad Hatter, familiar with them as well. We got Tinkerbell and Pongo, 2 more evasive characters. The thing to know with Tinkerbell, Pixie Dust, when you play this character, chosen character gains evasive this turn. Just another opportunity to help us attack into our opponents with evasive. And then Pongo is just a straight evasive for 2. And then we also are running 4 copies of Goofy and 2 copies of Genie, our other 2 evasive characters. So in total, what is that, like 6 evasive characters? 7, something like that? It's a lot of evasive characters, which makes us really hard to interact with. Goofy lures for 2, Genie lures for 2, but Genie can also bounce a character back to... you may return chosen character to their player's hand. Again, the thing to note with this guy, it's chosen character, not chosen opponent character. So you can make some interesting decisions with that one. And then Mother Gothel. I've really been wanting to try this card. I like the ability a lot. It demands to be attacked. While this character is exerted, opposing characters can't quest. So if our character's tapped, our opponent can only tap to attack. They cannot go on quests. And then for our removal, we're running 3 copies of Dragonfire. And then we have 3 copies of Shield of Virtue. Really great cards. I wish we could activate Shield of Virtue on our opponent's turn, because it'd be, I don't know, be a fun little trick, I suppose. Outside of that, that's the deck. Let's jump into Pixelborn and see if we can't pick up a few games. All right, Meta Monday. What are we looking at here? Actually, I kind of like the hand. Yeah, let's go for it. I don't know what's good, I don't know what's bad, but we're going first, so let's just jump into it. Where do we want to start? I got a 1 turn, a 2 turn, a 3 turn, a 4 turn, a 5 turn, and a 6 turn, but we're gonna drop the 6 turn, I think. And we're gonna start out so strong right now. So strong. Sergeant Tibbs. Alright, it's official, I threw my cat out. His name is Death. He's out in the hall, so we shouldn't hear any cat toys being played with. I just wanted to remind everyone again, in case you skipped the little deck tech intro, this deck is Steadfast's deck. I will have a link to his channel in the description down below. This is not a creation of mine. This is Meta Monday. We are checking out a deck that has been being played a ton on the client, and we may make some changes as we go. But first game, we are playing his deck the way he built it, the way it was intended to be played. Alright, we're gonna do Cheshire Cat down, get a Cruella on the board, and begin the quests. I was so caught up in giving Steadfast a little shout out there, not that he needs it from me, that I didn't pay attention. Okay, blue. I didn't see the first card. Blue and blue. Alright, Grandma Tall is probably likely going to swing in. At this point, we're gonna drop the Tibbs, and we're gonna play Peter Pan. Hopefully they're not gray. I really wish I would have known what the other color was. If it's gray, they'd have a really good board wipe card. Red isn't until 7. Alright, what do we got? They're ramping for something. Grandma Tall is gonna swing in. It is gray. Uh-oh. So we gotta be careful of grab your sword. Okay, well they wouldn't have attacked Tibbs, right? I would have attacked Cruella if I had to grab your sword. I think today's the day I'm gonna pull the trigger and become a Patreon member for Pixelborn so I can get the unique card backs. There's only like 4 of them. Honestly, they're not that great, but the client is so fantastic. I'd love to be a Patreon member. Also, you get a better name. It doesn't say Pixelborn Wintertooth. I think it'll just say Wintertooth. I think. Yeah, we're gonna lose the Mad Hatter here. No, we're not gonna lose the Mad Hatter. Flint's too susceptible to a lot of the Gray's removal. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it. So I'm about to lose Tibbs and Peter Pan to the board wipe, but Pongo and Cruella will survive. Yeah, I totally would have attacked Cruella if I were them for the grandma. I'm trying to not touch my beard so much. I can't help it. It's a bad habit. I went to a wrestling super show or something last night with my parents. I used to be really into it when I was a kid. But now that I got my kid, gotta take him. It was a blast. There's the big grab your sword I was talking about. See, I totally would have attacked Cruella. We went to that last night. It was a blast. I'm super tired, but the whole night, I'm just like, wow, look at these guys wrestle. Alright, we're going to start with the Mad Hatter because the Mad Hatter can be attacked and has an ability. So, let's see. So far, so good. I'm expecting a second grab your sword right here. Not grab your beard. Not grab your beard. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Oh boy. Haha. Do I keep building my ink? Or do I just have cool cards to play? Right now we're in a really good position. I got to imagine Cruella's gonna be attacked down. So they're not attacking Pongo. So let's see. Mickey Mouse will defeat Cruella. And then they got 5 power amongst the other two. So they could take out the Mad Hatter. So perhaps I do want another card down. Let's get a Cusco. Because they do have the ability to kind of attack my board. And if they got a... Oh, I'm glad we dumped the Cusco. A whole new world. And there's that downside of a whole new world. They didn't sing it, so it costs them their lore. That gives us the advantage. They are in trouble. Oh, don't quest. No, if you quest, you lose. If you quest, you lose. And that's it. That's game. So far, so good. Are we gonna make any changes right away? No. So far, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, so let's go into game 2. Let's do it. Oh, I didn't change my name. Okay. Alright, well, let's see if, looks like my card backs are still the same, so that's not good. We'll see if it changes here in a moment. I know that these can be finicky. So far the hand actually looks pretty decent. We got turn 1, turn 2, a possible turn 3. Maybe something else shows up. A couple Mad Hatters. Yeah, let's give it a go. Yeah, there's my card back. Look at that. Yeah, I forgot to change my name. Oh, but I got a little icon though. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. And I believe this number indicates how many months you've been a Patreon member. So there's that. Let's see. What do we want to do? I think first things first, I'm going to drop off. Let's start with a Mad Hatter because I think Mad Hatter would be my number 2 choice. So I'm going to make it my number 1 choice. Maybe we can hold on to a Mother Gothel and actually get to play it. Playing against yellow. Didn't see the other card. Not paying attention, as always. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Purple. Alright, so yellow and purple both have cards. Yep, there they are. In fact, there's both of them. Both have cards that cost 1 that quest for 2. I will take the opportunity to attack in. Do I... No, it costs a lot. I was thinking, do I play Tibbs and untap them, but I won't be able to. So let's see. Let us... It's gotta be Mother Gothel, right? There's my turn 2, there's my turn 3, there's my turn 4, there's my turn 5. Yeah, we're pretty set up. Sorry, Tibbs. We can't keep that up. Those guys... That Lilo's gotta go. And next up is Maleficent. Olaf should attack Tibbs. That's my... I'm expecting that 100%. Putting the Mickey Mouse down. Alright, who's up? Rafiki. Really? I would have had Olaf attack it. Olaf's not that special, right? I guess they can get the quest. Not what I would have done, obviously, but there we have it. And yes. I am going to prioritize keeping them off of lore. Especially because, you know, cards are starting, we're already getting to that point. Cards are going to get a little thin. They are in purple though, so I do expect a card draw. I haven't played against the wardrobe yet. Interesting choice. Decent attacker. Is someone gonna attack the Flynn? Are you gonna give up a card? I can't help it! I just go right for it. Just totally subconsciously. Got an idea. I can't. Can't touch my beard if I'm holding on to something, and I got the mouse in the other hand. And the evasive is good. Yellow and purple. What do they have for removal? Alright, now they're not scared to attack Flynn. Right? And I would expect to see Olaf do the attacking. Random. Good quest. You may ready other princesses. Got any other princi? What? Olaf's not a princess? I take great offense to this. Kind of wanna. Do we play the Mad Hatter? So they just need 2 turns. So I need to remove their stuff. This costs 4. So Hans needs to take something out, right? These are all worth 1, which means, yeah, Moana's the big one. So I just Dragonfire that. Decisions. I think I want to keep the Mad Hatter. I definitely want the shield. I think Hans is going to end up trading with something. Probably Rafiki. Not us. They'll attack into us. We're going to use the Dragonfire this turn to take out the Moana. And then I'm going to use the shield to keep Mad Hatter going. Quest and quest. Just in time. Down to the final 2 seconds. I haven't touched my beard. But I am going to power through my drink a lot faster, I think. Which does what? Oh, it just heals all you guys. Okay. Ah, wardrobe is a good attack now. But will you do it? Oh no, they're going to race. Okay. I'll accept the race. And then I can play out both of my cards. Ooh, Pete's only worth 1. It's only worth 1. Alright, they definitely got to send the wardrobe at Hans now, right? Because this is a race that they're not going to win. It's good, Maleficent. They are racing hard. Oh, they go out for the trade. Who is my opponent? We're both on +4 and they're in the lead. They're in the strong lead. Cusco's nice. Okay, they're on +3, we're on +7, so they have to remove our stuff. Are they gonna hit Mad Hatter and let me draw twice? Can't afford the magic mirror. But let me draw at least once. They gotta take it out. If they don't take it out, I win. Oh, Mad Hatter finally coming in clutch. I've wanted to draw so many cards off of him for so long. Okay. Do I just play Genie and just wreck him? I think I do. Play Genie and wreck his Ralph. Sounds dirty. Alright, opponent. Let's see how you slip out of this one. And then I can fix my name. I just want to say Winter. I don't want it to say Pixelborn. Gotta say, this is a good deck. I've been wanting to make a red-green deck since the game came out, but the fact that it also gets to be a meta deck, very cool. And that's victory. Sweet. Meta Monday. Here we go. Game 3. So far, so good. I'm really liking the ink ability. Yeah, it's a lot of 2s. We should have an early start for sure. Let's start with... Let's just get LeFou out of the way. Look at that. We got a plaque. It just says Winter Tooth. Oh, I'm so excited. And now we're playing against random user. Archimedes. Alright. I think I want both Flynn's, if I'm being totally honest here. Yeah, I like that they quest for 2. I also like that they attack our opponent's hand. So, going for Flynn. Alright, our opponent's in red. Careful on turn 5, we get a Dragon's Fire. And then turn 7's board wipe, so we don't want to go too crazy. Gaston is a good card for our opponent. Yeah, I don't want to trade a Flynn. It's not even a trade. I don't want to lose a Flynn. Well, it is a trade. They still have to lose a card out of their hand. But they're in purple, so they got card draw. See the Magic Mirror. Magic Mirror is great if you can get it down early. It's a lot harder if it's later in the game. Alright, Gaston. No attacks from you. Is Archimedes just going to quest? Alright, Archimedes in the ink pool and befuddle. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's actually fine. They couldn't attack it anyway. Really, it's a really bad time to play that card, if I'm being honest. Obviously, we go for the cat now, because I want to get the Gaston off the board. We got a lot of turn 5 plays. We also have a multi-turn 5 if we want. But I don't think we're going to go that route. Alright, Jasper, you're gone. We're going to go for the Tink. I want to get the evasive going. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Don't need the evasive. It's not going to do anything. That's really only good for attacking into our opponent's evasive. Now, if it lasts until our next turn, that'd be sweet. Now Gaston's gone. And Tink goes for 2, right? Yeah, Tink goes for 2. Ooh. Looking for cards, huh? I think we're gonna start with the Mad Hatter. And then work into a Cusco. Oh yeah, then work into a Cusco for sure. Cusco with the Shield of Virtue is really good because he becomes really, really hard to deal with. That is a really cool combo. Right? He can't be targeted by your opponent's actions. He can be hit globally, which our opponent does do in red. But outside of that, like, that's it, right? It's just global removal. So it takes 2 grab your swords or a be prepared to deal with the Shield of Virtue. Shield of Virtue and Cusco combo. Question is, do I want to play into it? Or do I just want to Dragon Fire this Maui? Gotta be careful. Our opponent's coming up on the mana they need, the ink they need. Sorry, the ink they need for the be prepared. We do not want to overcommit to the board against red, unless we wholeheartedly know our opponent's deck list, and it'd be insane if they were running be prepared. But I do not know deck lists that well. I'm gonna set up the shield so it's ready to go for future. In fact, I'm just gonna use it. Really pressure our opponent, because now they can't take out the Mad Hatter. They have to use removal. Of course, they could be running the Elsa to tap it, so that's something to watch out for. Nothing we can do about that. So far, so good. Looking to be in a strong position here. Okay, they've reached the ink they need for a be prepared, but they're committing to the board. And there it is. Come on. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. We got this. We got this. Yeah, draw that card. Draw that card. You can't mess with my Shield of Virtue. Okay, Steadfast, this is a great deck. I like this deck a lot. Alright, we're not overcommitting to the board. Our opponent's only got a +3. We're in a strong lead here. I'll save my cards for the rebuild after the board wipe. Alright, deal with that, opponent. You have to deal with both of my creatures now. I am demanding a board wipe. Well. It's tough though, right? Like, what do you do? Because you can't interact with Tink unless you got another removal. Come on, opponent. Calls its quits. Their final act of aggression. And my favorite character, second favorite character, one of my favorite characters, Tinkerbell for the win. Come on, opponent. Come on, opponent. The writing is on the wall. Should I move my camera over here so it's looking straight at me? Because I can do that, you know. It's not stuck there. I'll move it between games. We'll take a look. And there's victory. Ranking up. Perfect. This deck is nutso. Hard to fight against. I can't wait to make a deck designed to defeat it. Alright. Literally took 3 seconds to move the camera. So, let's see if this is better. If I like this positioning, I might do something behind me. So it's not just a wall. Alright, going first. I got a lot of non-inkable cards. And a lot of expensive cards. Might hold on to the Dragon Fire. Let's get rid of the other two. I really like my Mad Hatter, but I think that's going to be the first card to go. And we're gonna play the best ever, Sergeant Tibbs. Can you see my... Okay, cool. Can't see my microphone. Fantastic. Now I got a bunch of questions because camera moved. Gray. I didn't miss it. Gray. Alright, I do got a turn 2 play. I think I'm gonna prefer Tink over Hans. Yeah, I don't mind trading Sergeant Tibbs for Captain Hook if they want to make that trade. Especially because I'm the lore up now. Purple! Purple's the other color. Okay, so card draw and damaging cards. Yep, I'm comfortable with that. Tibbs did his job. He traded for a creature and he gained a lore before letting our opponent do those things. Pete's really good. Doesn't survive grab your sword. Cheshire Cat does survive it. Or he can trade. Cruella's not super potent right here. It just dies to the Captain Hook. I'm going to hold on to Cruella for a more opportune time for her ability to do something effective when she's attacked. In the meantime, I'm going to try to bait out Captain Hook trading with Cheshire Cat. And we're going to cross our fingers we get something inkable or we're losing Tink. Tink does survive a grab your sword though. There's the smash, okay. Trading for the removal. That's fine. Cap's gonna quest now, right? Really? No. There's something inkable. Got the Tink. Give you evasive, but it doesn't really matter. Still don't want to trade Cruella for the Captain Hook, so we're gonna pass. And by trade, I mean it's not a trade. There is no trade there. Millicent draws a card. There we go. Now Hook's doing what I expected it to do. Now I could just play a shield and then I start questing. Going for 3 every turn. Yeah, I think that's the play. Yeah. If they want to try to race, let's, set it up. Plus the shield is going to be set up really great for a future Cusco or Mad Hatter. Don't have to pay to get it down there now. Am I going to see a grab your sword? Okay, so the Elsa's going to be able to exert our Cruella. So we probably don't want to pay for that now. Unless we want to Dragonfire it, but it's assuming we get something inkable. It's assuming we want to play Dragonfire. So there's something inkable, but I don't want to play Dragonfire. See, I could just have Tink take it out. Take out the Captain Hook. That's right, Tinkerbell defeating Captain Hook. That's the best thing ever. Quest. The only downside is we are vulnerable now to a grab your sword. Assuming they got 4 copies in the deck, 60 card deck. There's a chance they have at least one. Alright, what do we got? Still in focus? Still in focus. Tinkerbell! What are you considering over there, opponent? Okay. A goof is pretty good. All right, we're gonna see the big tink now, giant fairy. Yes, we are. 1 damage to all my creatures. And now we can take out Cruella. She takes out Tinkerbell. Right, because it gets to do the extra 2 damage. Or are they going to hit Goof? Let's bounce my Tinkerbell. Oh, you can cancel. Fine, I'll give one of yours because it's making me do evasive apparently. Everyone's on +4. We're on +4. We're in the lead of the race so far. And I'm likely going to Dragonfire that Tink on my next turn instead of playing Genie. Either way, it's a 2 lore swing in both directions. Plus, I don't want to put Tinkerbell back in their hand, because then they'll get all those enter the battlefield abilities again. I don't need to spend anything on shield. And evasive for the win, man. Very hard to interact with. I'm looking forward to making a deck designed to fight this. In the meantime, I have to work today, so I gotta leave the house in an hour, and then come home and edit this video. And then I'm probably gonna play this deck a lot. Try to identify what I think the weaknesses are based on playing it. So hopefully tomorrow's video is how to counter this one. Hopefully. We will see. Elsa's good. Elsa's also not a character we want to bounce. It just locks us down again. And I can't play for the Shield of Virtue. That's kind of the give we take right there. But we've put ourselves in a position to just flat win the game with Mad Hatter right there. They need another Elsa off the top, honestly. And then I can go for 5 and it's not quite enough. Elsa's too expensive now. What do they have? Ursula. Thankfully, I have just enough that attacking me for 1 lore, I still have enough for victory. And they can't attack my creatures. Look at that. What a freaking powerhouse of a deck. That is hard to compete with. All inkable. I really like that. This deck is... it's hitting some bits for me that really resonate. Going second, it's nice to have a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 play to hopefully catch up. Alright, opponent. What do we got? What do we got? Okay, here we go. Oh, and in case you're wondering about the whole Patreon thing, on the Pixelborn client, on the first tab, bottom right hand corner, there's a link for the Patreon. Took me a hot second to find it. That's where you go. I don't have to do what I did, but I went for the top tier because, yo, I like it. It's worth it. Alright, I want something that's gonna trade with Captain Hook. Which is not a Flynn. I think we're gonna drop a Flynn here. Start with my sword. Or my shield. Literally the opposite. Start with my shield. And then we're gonna go into a LeFou, I think. Maybe I should have kept Flynn. Use LeFou as a turn 3. So I could just untap Flynn. And be more aggressive on the lore. Mad Hatter's good with the shield, but need to be more aggressive. Cruella's only going to bounce the thing back to somebody's hand. I'd rather see removal. These guys are going to both attack as a 3. I like this early aggression in gray. Makes me playing out my board challenging. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Nothing? Okay, that's what I thought. They're thinking, I need Prince Eric to take out LeFou. There's their rush. Gray and purple. Do I take the opportunity to attack the prince? I think I do. Then play another LeFou. LeFoul. Make it a little challenging for him. I don't know if I like that play. I was caught up on the, yeah, LeFou can untap my guy. That was probably wrong. I should have quested and then attacked. Because then LeFou would trade with either one. Yeah, I think I did that wrong. Because our goal here is to trade with them. We don't want to give them other options and try to, you know, play around it. We want them to feel like, oh, this is what our opponent's got. Let's deal with it. Right? That's a good card. That's a good card to have taken out. Because now it's not going to take out a Tink. Unless they got another one, which of course they might. Obviously not an impossible task. Mother Gothel. I do like that. We are going to go for the Tink. Evasive, sure. Did we just trade the Prince Eric here? Let's do the trade. Really need a little bit. I need a few more Inkables. I want to play Mother Gothel. Zeus is a good target for the Dragonfire. Okay, Mother Gothel. Do I want 2 of these? I might want 2 of those. Why not? Go big or go home, right? Let's deal with Zeus. I don't want to have a big attack into my Mother Gothel, you know? Not if I can avoid it. Either way, there's a Mother Gothel next turn. But I really want to draw an Inkable card. Because I think it'd be neat to have 2 of them. Thank you, deck, for being so awesome. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just get rid of it. Sometimes I think our opponents forget we can just attack their stuff. I forget sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, we're just gonna quest, and then my whole board's gone. I'm like, oh, that's how I lost this game. Shield of Virtue is down. That's fine. Mother Gothel wants to stay tapped. and our evasive characters don't mind. Beast will have to get 2 attacks in to take out the Gothel, which will ultimately trade. But it is going to take more than a turn to do so. What do you got, opponent? Yep, there's the attack. If only there's like... Let's see. While this character is exerted, so it has to be exerted. It has nothing to do with questing. I was hoping there'd be a way, like, if it quested and then Shield of Virtue, that way it can't be attacked and your opponent can't quest. That would be insane. And don't worry, I am coming up with ideas of how to beat this very deck I'm playing. I think I got a really good idea, actually. So keep an eye out for tomorrow's video, because, I think we're going to specialize in taking down this deck. So I might cherry pick a few games to specifically seek out opponents playing this deck. We'll see. See how it goes. I actually have a day off tomorrow. I'm always off on Mondays, so I'll have the day to actually go through and cherry pick. I know this is a Meta Monday. This video comes out on Monday, I record on Sunday. Alright, opponent. You gonna send that beast in, get some damage on the mother? What I like about Mother is it's trading for multiple cards. It won't always trade for multiple cards, but right now it's trading for multiple cards. Come on, opponent. There we go. That was a good play. Took out the tank. If only I had my shield, Cusco would be so weak. Double couscous. I'll take it. This is gonna make me challenging. See, I got 5 right here, and then the follow-up Cusco is gonna be really pretty much impossible to deal with. Our opponent's gonna need 2 grab your swords back to back. They don't have the ink for it. Can't be targeted otherwise. I hate to be that guy, but I don't think it's possible for our opponent to win now. I think this game's over. No touchy. That's what we got Cusco for. No touchy. Quest. Play a Cusco they can't interact with. This game's over. They can't win. They don't have the ink for a double grab your sword. They're not running red for a board wipe. They can't target either Cusco with removal spell or damaging spells. One Cusco can't be attacked. They cannot win. There are no options here for them to survive the turn. Again, I hate to be that guy, but I'm feeling super confident. There's no way our opponent can pull this out of their hat. And now Tink's gone. Goof is gone. And you can't deal with the Cusco. That ward, man, it's too much. They can't force him to tap for the attacks. Yeah, you can't deal with the Cusco. It's insane. Cusco on a last turn like that is brutal. as a Patreon member, I have access to this cool thing in here. Right, I'll show you real quick. You can click on the deck, got this little icon, and it'll pop up. There we go. You can actually see it. So I played 5 games, the 5 games you saw on today's video. Those are the only 5 games I've played with it. And we have a 100% win rate. We've defeated blue-gray 100% of the time, orange-purple 100% of the time, and purple-gray 2 times 100% of the time. Oh, and red-purple once. So we haven't faced all of the color combinations with it, but yeah, this deck is super strong. So let's jump back over here. What cards would I change? What cards would I exchange, if anything? Everything so far was really good. So the cards that I had questions about, Sergeant Tibbs and LeFou, were my 2 like #1 hot picks for like why, and a little bit on like I like Cruella. I've been wanting to have a deck to play her with, but her ability, she's perhaps for me the weakest link. I thought Tibbs and LeFou were going to be the weakest links, but as it turned out, especially against Gray and those challenger mechanics, just having a nice 2/2 on the board to deal some damage, this was enough of a stall / deal with to get the rest of our pieces in play and just take our opponents out. Really fantastic. Today's showing didn't show off Peter Pan very well. I think Peter Pan's a fantastic card. We played against a lot of Gray, and the two toughness on him, he's just so susceptible to your opponent playing grab their sword. So right, if we go second, we play Peter Pan. They're playing their 4th Ink. We get 1 turn to quest with him, and then our opponent plays grab your sword, and Pete's gone. So that 2 toughness is really weak on a 3 costing card. Right, look at our other 3 costs. Cheshire Cat's at a 3, Jasper's at a 4, Pete's at a 2. So he didn't have a great showing today, but I think he is otherwise fantastic outside of fighting Gray. The steel color has the card to deal with this. Cruella de Vil, let's hop back to that real quick. Cruella had the one issue of when this character is challenged and banished, you may return a chosen character to the player's hand. The reason why it was weak today is, again, Challenger, the Challenger mechanic. So the Challengers effectively attack Cruella, defeat Cruella, and then they get to put this really cheap 1/2 costing card back in their hand and just replay it. So it doesn't buy you a ton of time. Probably not enough time, honestly. Yeah, so it felt really weak. This would be my target card right now, that if I was going to change it for something, I would change Cruella. Outside of that, everything else was running really well. I really like Mother Gothel, so I knew Mother Gothel was going to have a little bit of an issue with it needs to be tapped, which means it's exposed to being attacked. And your Shield of Virtue does not help it, because it needs to be tapped to prevent your opponent from questing. So it's a really big attack target. If there was a way to protect it while it was tapped, that would be fantastic. But it's still traded for, this card's either going to trade for one really... Not going to trade to something really big, likely. Like a Maui. Maui would just take it out. So I have an issue against that. Against Gray, as you saw, it traded for Beast and Maleficent, which is really great. Maleficent being purple. So outside of that, it's seems like Mother Gothel ends up trading for multiple cards in exchange for her. So a 2-for-1 effectively. 2-for-1s in Magic are really strong. 2-for-1s in Lorcana appear to be just as strong. So really enjoyed having that card. All in all, I think the deck is fantastic. See, the total cost here is really cheap if you want to pay for the real thing and have a physical copy of it. Yeah, really cool. Go play it. Steadfast did a fantastic job on this deck. I don't know if he made this by himself or if he made it with someone else, but it's a really good deck. I like it a lot. Cruella is the card I would change. I don't know what I would change it for yet. I'm gonna run it until it loses, honestly, and then we'll make some changes. But that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Link in the description down below to check out Steadfast's channel. Go check him out. Really great video. Like the deck a lot. And that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.